Hi, welcome to Mrs. Park's Algebra 1 class. This is Chapter 4, Section 1, Graphing Equations in Slope-Intercept Form. Okay, so why are we learning this? Jamil has 500 songs on his MP3 player. He joins a music club that lets him download 30 songs per month for a monthly fee. The number of songs that Jamil can eventually have in his player if he does not delete any songs is represented by y equals 30x plus 500. Okay. So that 500 is, you're adding 500 because he already has 500 songs in his music player, his MP3 player, and it's 30 songs per month. So x is going to be the number of months he downloads songs. Okay, slope-intercept form. An equation of the form y equals mx plus b. You'll be hearing this throughout the year. Mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept, is in slope-intercept form. This is a slope-intercept form. So we've learned standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. Okay, this is standard form, SF. Okay. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay. This is slope-intercept form, SIF. Okay. The variables m and b are called parameters of the equations. Changing either values changes the equation's graph. Okay, so depending on the m and the b, the graph is going to look different. Okay, so here's your slope-intercept form. Again, it's y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, so the number in front of the x. You're gonna hear me say this a lot. The number in front of the x is the slope, and the number by itself is the y-intercept. So when you say y-intercept, intercept is where it meets on the y. So right here, that 6 will be right here. Okay, that's where it meets on the y. So that would be, in this case, it will be, well, that's not the right graph. So whatever it meets on the y, that's the y-intercept. Okay, and the 2 stands for the slope. Alright, so write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line with a slope of 3/4 and y-intercept of -2. So again, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So they're telling you the slope is 3/4 and the y-intercept is -2. So let's rewrite it. So equation is y equals, slope is 3/4, 3/4, don't forget your x, okay, plus -2 plus a negative will be -2. So that's your equation in slope-intercept form. All I did was substitute the m and b with the slope and y-intercept. Second part, then graph the equation. So when I graph this, okay, when I'm graphing a linear equation, it's easier to start with your y-intercept. So I know y-intercept is -2, so I'm going to start at -2 on the y. Okay, that's where I start. From there, my slope is 3/4. That means rise 3, run 4. So I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, run 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your other point. Connect the 2 points to make a nice graph right there. Okay. So again, whenever you see graph, if it's in slope-intercept form, you use the y-intercept first. That's where you start. Put a dot there. And then you do rise over run, put another dot, and connect the 2 dots, and there's your nice graph. Alright, so here's your turn, 1A, 1B. Okay, always read the directions, okay, and then read it again. Okay, write an equation of a line. So you're going to write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form with the given slope and y-intercept. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so write these two in slope-intercept form, then graph the equation. Okay, so you're going to need some graph paper. You should have taken some home with you today. If not, you can always download it from the website that I have linked onto Edmodo. Alright, so go ahead and do numbers 1a and 1b and come back when you're done. Alright, welcome back. So graph linear equations. Graph 3x plus 2y equals 6. Now, that's not instead of slope-intercept form. So I'm going to rewrite the equation in slope-intercept form. That means I'm going to make it look like, I want this to look like y equals mx plus b. Okay? In order to do that, I'm going to move everything else so only y is on the left. So I'm going to subtract 3x on each side first. Now I'm left with, these are canceled out, 2y equals 6 minus 3x. Then I'm going to divide everything by 2. When I divide by 2, I'm actually dividing everything here by 2. So negative 3x divided by 2. This also tells me to divide the 6 by 2. So negative 3 over 2, I write as negative 3 over 2x, plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so now it's in standard form. Now it's in slope-intercept form. I'm going to graph it now by using this y-intercept first. This time it's a positive 3, so 1, 2, 3, put a dot there. From there, I see it's a negative, so I can rise 3 and run 2 to the left, or I can go down 3 and run 2 to the right. So here on the textbook they did run 3 down. So down 1, 2, 3, and then run 2 to the right. And there's your other point, connect the 2 points, and there's a nice line. So that equation I know, that graph I know it's right because it's a negative slope. That means it's going to the left. Alright, so here's your turn 2a and 2b. So go ahead, pause the video, do 2 and 2b, and come back when you are done. Alright, welcome back. Horizontal lines have a slope of 0. So when you have a line or graph that goes sideways, that slope is going to be automatically 0. So equations on horizontal lines can be written in slope-intercept form as, so since the slope is 0, you only have your y. So y equals a number, b. So here you have your slope is 0, but it's going through a negative 3. So your graph is your equation is y equals negative 3. Okay. So here's your turn 3a and 3b. Graph each equation. So y equals, and on your graph, that looks like this. It's going to be a straight line going sideways depending on what your y is. Okay, so you're going to make this look like y equals, and then go ahead and graph 3a and 3b. Alright, notice that the equation of horizontal lines do not have an x variable. The graph of a horizontal line does not cross the x-axis. The equation y equals 0 lies on the y-axis. Lies on the x-axis. Alright. There are times when you will need to write an equation when given a graph. To do this, locate the y-intercept and use the rise and run to find another point on the graph. Then write the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay. So here is a standardized test example 4. Which of the following is an equation in slope-intercept form for the line shown? So here, we're going backwards. They're giving you the graph, and then they're asking you to write the equation. So you know the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so that's how you want to write it. All right. Now, looking at this graph, my y-intercept is positive 1. So this is going to be 1 right here. My slope, I'm going to find another point where it's in the intersection, okay? So it meets on the dot here. So I'm going to count how many I rise and then how many I run. So I rise 1, and then I ran 1, 2, 3 to the left. So rise 1 over 3 to the left, so that means negative. Okay, so that's my slope. Rewrite my equation. Y equals, slope is negative 1 over 3. Don't forget your x, plus 1. So that's my equation. Let's see. Negative 1/3 between C and D, plus 1, so the answer is C. Now, this I actually wrote out the equation by figuring the slope and the y-intercept, but you could have also done, let's try to see by elimination. So it's not positive 3, so because the slope is, the y-intercept is 1. In between these two, all you have to do is rise over run. You could also use this point right here. So rise 1, run 1, 2, 3 to the left. So that's how I knew it was C. Alright, so go ahead and do your turn number 4. Which of the following is an equation in slope-intercept form for the line shown? So go ahead and do number 4, and then come back when you're done. Alright, welcome back. Here's a real-world example 5. Write and graph a linear equation. Use the information at the left about high school sports. The information is, I think it's actually this. Okay, so write a linear equation to find the number of girls in high school sports after 1997. Alright, so here you have number of girls competing is G equals rate of change times number of years plus amount start. So number of girls competing equals number of years since 1997 is going to be N. I guess the rate is 0.06 and the amount they start is 2.6. I do believe I'm missing a graph here. Okay, but anyway, the equation is this. Okay. Now, we're going to graph the equation. So what we had here was G equals 0.06n plus 2.6. Okay, G equals 0.06n plus 2.6. There. The y-intercept is where the data begins. So 2.6 is where they're going to start. And then the graph passes through 0. So that's where it starts with y-intercept. The rate of change is the slope. The slope is 0.06. Okay, so you're going to rise 0.06 when you go over 1. Okay, so every time it rises 0.06. Okay, now, based on this, you're going to estimate the number of girls competing in 2017. So instead of N, 20 years after 2017, right? So from 1997 to 2017, there's 20 years. So N, replace N with 20 years, and then you get this number times 20 plus 2.6, and you get 3.8. So there will be about 3.8 million girls competing in high school sports in 2017. Right. So here's your turn number 5 about fundraisers. The band Boosters are selling subs for $5 each. They bought $1,160 in ingredients. Okay, so write an equation for profit P made on N sandwiches. Okay, so $5 each. So this one I'm going to help you out a little bit. So P is going to equal $5 each per sandwich, 5 times N. But they already spent this much, so you're going to subtract $1,160. So that's your part A. Now try to graph this equation and then find the total profit if 1,400 sandwiches are sold. Okay. So go ahead and do number 5, and when you're done with the homework. So thanks for watching.